Have you ever caught her eyes lingering just a moment too long, sparking a quiet thrill in your chest? As a young American philosopher and advocate for women's strength, I've seen how these subtle cues reveal a woman's inner world, her desires, her resilience, her unspoken power. Picture Sarah, a woman navigating a bustling coffee shop, her gaze flicking to you amidst the crowd, her laughter ringing out at your simplest joke. These aren't mere accidents, they're threads of connection woven from her thoughts. Through Stoicism's wise lens, we uncover how women express attraction not as passive players, but as architects of their emotions, defying societal norms that demand restraint. This is about her agency, her courage to feel deeply in a world that often silences such truths. From stolen glances to nervous twirls of her hair, these signs whisper of a strength that's both tender and fierce, a testament to women rising above expectation to claim their space. Imagine her standing against a tide of expectation, her small gestures a rebellion against being unseen. This journey through her mind reveals not just attraction, but a woman's quiet fight for freedom, a story echoing across generations of resilience and hope. Her eyes betray her. When you're around a woman who's constantly thinking about you, her eyes will be the first to give away her true feelings. For example, you're at a social gathering, and you notice her eyes tracking your every move across the room, following you as you laugh with friends or grab a drink from the table. It's as if she's magnetically drawn to you, unable to avert her gaze even for a moment. Even when you catch her looking, she might quickly glance away, pretending to focus on something else, trying to appear nonchalant. But those lingering looks unmistakably show that her thoughts are entirely centered on you. On the other hand, a woman who sees you merely as a friend won't spend time looking your way with such intensity. She won't be fixated on you in that manner, her attention drifting elsewhere without a second thought. However, if she can't stop herself from sneaking glances at you, often looking away bashfully when caught, it's a clear indication that her mind is preoccupied with thoughts of you, swirling with curiosity and unspoken feelings. Eye contact is a primal way for humans to feel connected, a silent language older than words. Those burning looks she casts your way aren't just innocent glances, they trigger powerful bonding chemicals in her brain, flooding her with feelings of closeness that she might not even articulate. The longer she drinks in the sight of you, the stronger those sensations of desire become, pulling her deeper into her own emotions. It's like her eyes are windows into the depths of her attraction, revealing emotion she may not even fully realize herself yet, a raw and honest glimpse into her soul. For example, you're sitting across from her in a cafe, the hum of conversation around you fading as you speak. As you talk, you notice her eyes aren't just focused on your face. They're locked in, almost as if she's trying to memorize every detail, from the way your mouth moves to the spark in your expression. When you catch her gaze and she looks away quickly, it's not because she's uninterested. On the contrary, she's probably imagining what it would be like to be closer to you, to share more moments together, her mind painting vivid pictures of possibility. In the philosophy of Stoicism, maintaining composure and observing subtle cues can be enlightening, a practice of patience and clarity. By calmly noting her eye contact, you can understand her feelings without jumping to conclusions, letting the truth unfold naturally. This patient observation reflects the Stoic practice of mindfulness, helping you stay grounded and perceptive amid the rush of emotion. If you notice her eyes lingering on you, chances are she spends countless waking hours imagining what it would be like to be yours, her thoughts circling back to you like a quiet refrain. She mimics the way you talk and behave. Have you ever noticed how someone might start to imitate your way of speaking or even your body language, as if they're subtly echoing your presence? This is known as mirroring, and it's a powerful indicator that she's thinking about you and trying to connect on a deeper level, a bridge built from unconscious instinct. In Stoicism, we learn that our actions and thoughts are interconnected, a web of intention and response, and this connection can extend to how we interact with others, shaping the space between us. When a woman mirrors your language and behaviors, it's her subconscious way of aligning with your energy and seeking your approval, a quiet dance of affinity. It's a subtle yet profound form of communication that reveals her interest in you, woven into the fabric of her actions. Imagine you're on a date, the air buzzing with possibility, and you lean slightly forward while talking, resting your elbows on the table. After a few moments, you notice she also leans forward, mirroring your posture as if drawn into the same rhythm. This is mirroring in action, a silent harmony that speaks louder than words. It might be so subtle that it's almost imperceptible, but it's a clear sign that she's in tune with you and wants to create a sense of unity, a shared moment in time. From an evolutionary psychology perspective, mirroring is a way to build connection, a remnant of our ancestral need to bond. People naturally gravitate toward those who resemble them in some way, as it creates a sense of shared experiences and mutual understanding, a comfort in familiarity. When she mirrors your actions, she's subconsciously trying to establish this connection, aligning herself with you. If you cross your arms while standing in a crowded room, she might do the same, her body echoing yours without a second thought. If you're sitting with one leg over the other, chatting over coffee, she might adopt a similar posture, her movements syncing with yours. This isn't just random. It's her mind's way of creating a bond by synchronizing with your movements, a physical manifestation of her thoughts. Pay attention to how she speaks, the cadence and color of her words. If you use a particular phrase or slang like calling something wild or epic, she might start using it too, slipping it into her own sentences with a smile. Or if you have a certain rhythm in your speech, slow and deliberate or quick and animated, she might begin to match it, her voice weaving into yours. This mirroring of language indicates that she's not only listening to you, but is also deeply engaged in the conversation, hanging on your every word. Notice if she mimics your facial expressions, a mirror to your emotions. When you smile, does she smile back in the same way, her eyes crinkling at the corners? When you look surprised, does her face reflect a similar emotion, widening in tandem? This synchronization is a clear sign that she's emotionally connected to you, her heart reaching out through her actions. In Stoicism, understanding and observing these behaviors can help you navigate relationships with more wisdom and insight, seeing the truth beneath the surface. She exhibits nervous behaviors. In the realm of Stoicism, we learn to observe and understand the subtle signs around us, peeling back the layers of human behavior. One such sign is the display of anxious habits, which can reveal that a woman is thinking about you, her mind buzzing with unspoken energy. These small, often unconscious behaviors can indicate her preoccupation and emotional excitement when she's near you, a quiet storm beneath her calm exterior. Picture you're having a conversation with a woman, perhaps over a meal or a walk in the park, and you notice she frequently plays with her hair, twirling a strand around her finger or bites her nails, a fleeting gesture of restlessness. While these actions might seem insignificant to an untrained eye, they are actually her body's way of dealing with the nervous energy that comes from her attraction to you, a physical echo of her inner world. When she can't fully relax and resorts to restless movements, it's a clear sign that you make her both anxious and excited, her emotions spilling over into action. Consider a common scenario. You're sitting across from her at a coffee shop, the clink of cups and hum of voices filling the air. As you talk, she continuously twists a ring on her finger, spinning it round and round, taps her foot under the table in a steady rhythm, or lightly brushes her skin, tracing absent patterns with her fingertips. These repetitive motions are not random, they are her subconscious attempts to manage the stimulation she feels because of your presence, a way to ground herself amid the rush. Her mind is aroused and cannot sit still, leading to these small habitual behaviors, each one a clue to her thoughts. From a psychological standpoint, these anxious habits are a way for her to channel nervous energy and maintain some level of comfort, a coping mechanism for the intensity of her feelings. Her actions are a direct response to the heightened emotions she feels when she's around you, her heart racing just beneath the surface. By observing and understanding these behaviors, you can gain insight into her feelings and the impact you have on her, seeing the woman behind the gestures. She inquires about your interests. When a woman frequently asks about your interests and hobbies, it's a clear sign that she's thinking about you, her curiosity a window into her mind. This kind of curiosity goes beyond casual conversation, beyond the polite small talk of strangers. It's an indication that she wants to understand your inner world, and what makes you tick, the passions that light you up. In Stoic philosophy, this can be seen as an effort to connect on a deeper level, valuing the person you are rather than just your outward appearance or status, a pursuit of the authentic self. For instance, imagine you're talking about your favorite book or a hobby you enjoy, perhaps sprawled on a couch or walking through a park. Then she keeps asking more detailed questions. What do you like most about that book? The way it unfolds or the characters who linger in your mind? How did you get into that hobby? Was it a childhood spark or a recent discovery? These aren't just polite questions tossed out to fill silence. They show she's genuinely interested in what brings you joy and what you're passionate about, the threads that weave your story. This kind of engagement reflects her desire to move beyond surface-level interactions and form a meaningful connection with you, a bridge across the ordinary. Consider a scenario where you mention you're into hiking, maybe over a casual lunch. Instead of just saying that's cool and moving on, she might ask, "What's the best hike you've ever been on? The one that took your breath away? Or what are you enjoying most about being out in nature? The quiet or the challenge?" Her questions show that she's mentally invested in your experiences and wants to understand why these activities are important to you. Peeling back the layers of your life. This aligns with the Stoic principle of seeking to understand and connect with others on a deeper level, focusing on their character and inner life, the essence beneath the exterior. She laughs exaggeratedly at your jokes. Imagine this scenario. You crack a joke, maybe a silly pun or a quick quip, and she bursts into laughter, her reaction seeming over the top and excessively celebratory, filling the air with sound. This exaggerated response isn't just about the joke itself, not merely a reaction to your words. It's a sign that she's deeply affected by your presence and wants to impress you. Her laughter a bridge to you. Her laughter, even at your most groan-worthy jokes, can be a clue that she's thinking about you and values your connection, a thread tying you together. In the light of Stoicism, we understand that people often act in ways that reflect their inner desires and emotions, their actions a mirror to their hearts. When a woman laughs successively at your jokes, it's her way of seeking validation and creating a bond, a shared moment of joy. Laughter symbolizes compatibility and intimacy, two crucial elements in any relationship, a language of closeness. By showering your humorous remarks with Apuria's laughter, she's not just responding to the joke. She's reinforcing a shared connection between you two, building something tangible in the space between. Consider this example. You tell a simple, somewhat cheesy joke during a casual conversation, maybe over drinks with friends. Instead of a polite chuckle, she laughs heartily, her eyes sparkling with delight, her whole face lighting up. This reaction might seem exaggerated, but it's a powerful indicator of her interest, a signal flare in the night. She grooms herself. Have you ever noticed how she smooths her hair, adjusts her clothing, or checks her makeup when you're around, her hands moving with quiet intent? These seemingly small and unconscious actions are significant signs that she's thinking about you, her mind attuned to your presence. This self-grooming behavior is more than just a habit, more than a fleeting gesture. It's a deep-rooted evolutionary signal of her interest, a whisper from the past. When a woman engages in these preening rituals, smoothing her hair with a quick sweep, adjusting her clothes to sit just right, or checking her appearance in a nearby reflection, it's a clear indicator that she's acutely aware of your presence, her senses heightened. This behavior stems from our evolutionary roots, where appearing attractive and well-groomed was essential for attracting a mate, a survival instinct etched into our being. In ancient times, these actions were vital for survival and reproduction, a way to stand out in a harsh world, and they still hold significant meaning today, carrying echoes of that primal drive. From a Stoic perspective, it's essential to observe and understand these behaviors without becoming overly attached or swayed by them, to see them for what they are. Marcus Aurelius, a renowned Stoic philosopher, emphasize the importance of understanding human nature and the motivations behind people's actions, looking beyond the surface to the why. By recognizing these grooming behaviors, you can gain insight into her feelings and the subtle signals she sends out. Reading the unspoken. She makes excuses to talk. When you notice a woman creating reasons to start random conversations, it's a strong sign she's thinking about you often, her mind reaching out through words. From a Stoic perspective, this behavior can be seen as her natural way of seeking connection, reflecting her inner thoughts and feelings, a quiet pull toward you. Imagine you're at work, focused on a task, and she suddenly approaches you with a trivial question about the copier, even though she knows perfectly well how to use it, her voice breaking the silence. Or perhaps she sends you a message asking for advice on something she could easily figure out herself, a text popping up unexpectedly. These seemingly minor interactions are her way of engineering opportunities to engage with you, crafting moments out of thin air. She might ask about your weekend plans. Even if she doesn't have a specific reason to know, her words a pretext for closeness. Each of these small conversations is her method of drawing your attention and creating a connection, a thread she weaves with care. In Stoicism, we learn to observe behaviors without judgment and to understand the intentions behind actions, seeing the heart beneath the gesture. Her constant need to talk to you, even about insignificant topics, reveals her desire to connect on a deeper level, a yearning that spills into speech. She recalls minor details. One of the most telling signs that a woman is thinking about you is when she consistently remembers the little details about your life, the fragments that others might overlook. This isn't just about her having a good memory, a trick of the mind. It's about her being genuinely interested in you and valuing your shared moments, holding them close. When she recalls minor details or inside jokes you've shared, it indicates that you're frequently on her mind and that she cares deeply about what matters to you, the small things that make you who you are. In the philosophy of Stoicism, paying attention to the present moment and valuing what's important are key principles, a call to mindfulness. When a woman remembers your favorite snack, maybe the salty crunch of pretzels, the name of your childhood pet, perhaps a scruffy dog named Max, or even that annoying commercial jingle you can't stand, it shows that she's not only listening but also valuing the small pieces of your life, treasuring them like keepsakes. This kind of attentiveness is a form of respect and indicates a deeper emotional connection, a bond forged in the quiet details. She lifts positivity. Have you noticed that she seems exponentially happier, cheerier, and more prone to giggles when you're around, her energy shifting in your presence? Outbursts of laughter and a generally positive demeanor can signal her joyful excitement simply from being in your presence. A light that flares when you're near. This behavior is not just a surface-level reaction, a fleeting smile. It's deeply rooted in our evolutionary past, a legacy of connection. From an evolutionary standpoint, projecting positivity through smiles, laughter, and animated body language helped our ancestors attract mates, a signal of warmth and openness. These behaviors are deeply intertwined with our psychological mating rituals, a dance as old as time. When she can't stop laughing and grinning around you, it reveals her subconscious delight in your company, a joy she can't contain. Those bubbly moments unveil her true feelings that she may be trying to conceal, peeling back the mask to show what's beneath. She finds excuses to stay. When a woman finds excuses to stay, it's a clear sign that she is thinking about you, her heart reluctant to let go. Imagine this. The evening is coming to an end. The stars peeking out above, and it's time to part ways. Yet she seems unwilling to leave, lingering around, almost delaying the inevitable goodbye with small gestures. This behavior is more than just casual, more than a moment's hesitation. It's a sign that she is deeply immersed in your presence and doesn't want the interaction to end, clinging to the warmth of the moment. From a Stoic viewpoint, this situation can be seen as an indication of the natural human desire to connect and find joy in meaningful interactions, a fleeting treasure. Stoicism teaches us to value genuine relationships and cherish moments of connection, as they are fleeting and precious, slipping through our fingers like sand. She texts or calls for no reason. One of the clearest signs that a woman is thinking about you is when she texts or calls for no apparent reason, her voice or words reaching out across the distance. If she's reaching out without any urgent matter or necessary update, it's because you are on her mind, a constant presence in her thoughts. This is a powerful indicator of her interest and affection, a thread that ties her to you. From a Stoic perspective, consider the principle of sympathia, the idea that we are all interconnected and influence each other's lives, a web of shared existence. When she takes the time to initiate contact, it shows she values the connection and feels a strong pull towards you, an invisible force drawing her closer. It's as if her thoughts naturally gravitate towards you, compelling her to reach out even without a specific reason, a quiet act of courage. Picture Lily, a woman balancing a demanding job and a quiet yearning for connection, her days filled with routine yet punctuated by thoughts of you. She texts you a random thought about a sunset she saw, not because it's urgent, but because you're woven into her day's fabric, a thread she can't ignore. These 11 signs, from her lingering glances to her casual messages, paint a portrait of resilience, a woman stepping beyond the ordinary to claim her emotions. She's not just reacting, she's choosing to engage, to defy the silent society often imposes on women's desires, her actions a quiet rebellion. Stoicism teaches us to see her strength in these subtleties, her laughter, her questions, her presence, all acts of courage in a world that might dismiss them. Her thoughts of you aren't fleeting, they're a claim to her freedom, a stand against being unseen. As women like Lily rise, they remind us, true connection isn't loud, it's in the glances, the giggles, the moments she dares to stay, building a bridge to something real. Her story is one of quiet power, a testament to the women who, through small acts, rewrite their place in the world. One thought, one gesture, one connection at a time.